Hey, everybody. We are live with the Working Fans Podcast. And AJ, how we doing?
Hey there, fans. The suntan Superman is back from Bermuda. I've got the energy that only AJ Strangebrew can bring you. Thanks to Dubby, I do my Cali cream. I put it into my Dr. Pepper, and now I'm ready for the show, Dave.
Yeah, baby. There we go. Check it out. That's W. Use our code 10% off. Check it again, too.
10% off. That's absolutely phenomenal, fans. I'm telling you, it makes it so I'm not jittery at my age. I'm a tired old man. I need energy. It gives me energy without making me feel like I'm having a heart attack. That's kind of a cool thing.
So, AJ, let's start off talking about business here. CM Punk is back. You did not think this was going to happen. You weren't alone. A lot of people didn't, but he is coming back.
So the reason why I didn't think it was going to happen is because every time it seems like he's coming back, something happens.
Right.
So I didn't want to be one of those people that are, CM Punk's coming back. It's going to be a done deal. And then and look like a jackass for the next 7 years because we keep thinking he's coming back.
Well, I think it's good. I think it's good for the company. And well, we'll see it long term if it's good for the company. But I was noticing this on Dynamite. He got a very mixed response. There were people chanting CM Punk, but there was a lot of loud boos. And I was saying there was a comparison between him and John Cena. And it's interesting because, and I'll let you get it. I know you'll let get this. But John Cena was polarizing in the sense that hardcore people didn't really like him. But, little kids during the dinner, he's loud. Boos, you would hear Cena sucks, when Cena was coming out and he was on top. And what I thought was interesting was that CM Punk dropped that pipe bomb, and he was kind of the hardcore guy, right? He was that guy that they started cheering, against Cena. And I feel like now he's kind of become Cena a little bit, but it's interesting because it's more of a division of the hardcore fans. Like the hardcore fans are really divided about him, and I don't remember the hardcore fans being divided about somebody.
So where did the show take place this week?
I don't know. That's a good question.
San Diego, California.
San Diego. Okay. So
where are the Bucks from?
California. All right. Yeah.
Where are the biggest fans of the Bucks from?
Probably California, Southern California.
So if you were to announce CM Punk's coming back and you wanted a completely positive response, would you say that announcing it in California might not be the best place to do it?
No, I mean, it's a good, it'll be interesting when we go to other places like Tennessee or even the Northeast to see.
That would be like bringing the Bucks out in Chicago and going, wow, they got a mixed response this week.
Well, let's think about it now. Now, if it was Connecticut, how do you think it would go here?
I think it depends on if he's here or if he's actually just being announced as coming to a future production. There's a big difference. When CM Punk's music hits, there's a big difference between the response. Now, when John Cena's music hits, there's still that mixed response. The cheering and the booing and the people getting on him.
We'll get a good idea. Somebody, I think it might have been Post Wrestling, they were talking about maybe he could go heel, and maybe he'll just be a babyface in Chicago.
He could go heel. The Bucks are currently with Kenny Omega and Hangman faces, so they definitely could go heel with him. But do you turn FTR heel?
Could.
Because I see CM Punk maybe coming in with FTR.
Right. FTR did come in to save Ricky Starks. Ricky Starks. So it is possible maybe FTR won't be brought in this angle at all. We don't know.
Well, the big thing that they keep saying is we've got you outnumbered, Ricky Starks. We've got you outnumbered. Well, they wouldn't have Ricky Starks outnumbered if all of a sudden he's got CM Punk and FTR with him.
Here's the thing, too. Right now, we know CM Punk's coming back, but the Elite are in a feud with the Blackpool Combat Club, and we don't know they're even going to mention this. Like, this might go in a total different direction.
I think they're going to keep them away from each other.
Yeah.
Now, I want to mention something interesting. We talked about comebacks. There was a comeback on the show that I'm not sure was even a real comeback. Andrade kept his mask on. When's the last time Andrade in an attack came out to the ring and kept his mask on the whole time through the whole angle?
That was Draglistico.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it's another wrestler. Yeah, that wasn't Andrade. Similar suit and everything like that.
Isn't he wearing the same suit and the same mask?
It wasn't Andrade.
That was my point, was that it wasn't Andrade.
Yeah, well, it's not. Yeah,
I don't even know who this guy is.
Yeah, Draglistico. Yeah, he's another wrestler from AAA and a luchador, and he's part of that group. So
they've done a good job of getting that group over, because I have no idea who that guy is.
He's wrestled on Rampage tonight against some of your other favorites, Commander and ELO Velkingo.
But the difference is I know who they are.
Right. Yeah,
this guy's literally dressed like Andrade, who's been out with a torn pec. I'm like, wow, what a weird way to bring somebody back, and he doesn't even look the same build. He's just wearing the outfit.
Yeah, it's a wrestler. That's why. I think that this is where AEW struggles with you a little bit sometimes. Is like, this is where they really kind of just cater to their hardcore fans, and you're just supposed to know this.
Well, I think sometimes they also just bring people onto Dynamite without actually telling you who they are.
They do that. That's what I'm saying. They think you must be on social media and must look these guys up and figure this all out. You know,
because as you know, we watch literally 100 hours, if not more, of wrestling a week. I don't have time to watch every freaking social media that AEW puts out there. Plus, if you want to get somebody over, goddamn it, say their name during the program.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's interesting, you know, like it's just like that's been some of the complaints is that, you know, that they cater almost too much to the hardcore fans. Like it's nice, but like they don't do anything to attract casual. Like they don't tell you who these people are. They don't do anything. It's just all to the point. Even some hardcore fans are like, I don't know who this guy is. You know?
That's and another thing that I found interesting this week. No Jade Cargill. You get your 60th win. You lose the belt, but you have no response whatsoever.
Yeah, maybe she's gonna take a little time off. I don't know. Yeah,
that's fine. Give her time off, but at least freaking, you know, that's a do something. You got this beast who has been undefeated for freaking 60 matches in a row. At least send him out with like an injury, or send him out like, oh, they put the boots to her or something. They had a baby face go over and Chris Statlander. Yeah. And then the baby face, they just don't mention it again.
And then Valkyrie actually was looking on.
Yeah, and Valkyrie was looking at her like a heel.
Right.
Valkyrie's been the baby face for this whole lineup.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens there, you know. I mean, Valkyrie, I could see her point. I could see why she would be mad and turn, you know, like she could look at it like she did most of the work, and now, you know.
No, absolutely. That's not a bad storyline. Sunday was a bad night all around for anybody with the name Valkyrie.
Yes. Yeah, a lot of changes in women's wrestling in general with the championships, you know. Bianca Belair finally lost that title after over a year. That's crazy.
Well, she probably needs a little break, too. You talk about Jade Cargill needing a break. Jade Cargill wasn't wrestling anywhere near the schedule that Bianca Belair was wrestling. Jade Cargill would wrestle, I mean, to do 60 matches. And how long did she have the belt?
I'm not sure. I mean, but, you know, I mean, 60 matches. She's only been wrestling in AEW. So it's kind of funny when you think about it. You can see why almost she's still green. Like she hasn't wrestled a ton of matches in the last few years.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she's had the belt for like a year and a half. And she's 60-0 altogether. Not 60-0 as the champion. Mm-hmm. 60-0 she was altogether.
So I want to talk, I want to change gears a little bit. Well, one last thing I want to talk about this week, SmackDown coming up tonight, Roman Reigns, 1,000 reign. I'll just, we'll preview. There's a couple matches already listed tonight. Money in the Bank qualifiers. Zelina Vega versus Lacey Evans. Make a prediction.
Lacey Evans.
Lacey Evans, all right. And then this one's, I think, interesting.
Well, wait, what's your prediction?
I'll go Vega.
Really?
Vega. Yeah. She can fly.
So without them having a pay-per-view coming up in Puerto Rico, and with them never putting over Zelina Vega in other matches before that, what makes you lead to believe Vega's going to go over tonight?
Actually, I don't have faith in either one of them because my counter argument in my head was I don't remember the last time I've seen Lacey on television.
Yeah, she's been out building stuff. I think I saw her on Instagram building a basement or something.
Yeah. So I was like, well, out of the two of them, she's been given the most to do lately. So
Yeah,
I
I
was
was just thinking that they seem to only put tall blondes over these days, even if they don't have wrestling skills.
we'll find out. We'll find out. Tiffany
That's
Stratton.
not a
All right.
shot at anybody, Tiff.
So this one's interesting too. Montez Ford do a lot of high flying stuff against LA Knight.
I think LA Knight's going to go over.
I don't know if he's the favorite, but I agree with you. You know, I'm kind of this one I'm a little more torn on, but we'll see. All
Well,
right.
it just
Now,
seems like the Street Profits have gotten the better of LA Knight recently.
Oh,
So
right.
I
Yeah,
just
because the
know
boobs and
something's going to
everything.
be coming.
Yeah, that's a good point. So, all right, 1,000 days, Roman Reigns. He came out on, he had a little video someone sent me today where he said to Jimmy, he said, don't call me. He said, don't text me. Don't hit me up in the group chat. Don't email me. He said, at the end of the day, he said, I'm going to talk to you when we get out there. So, what do you
Which is
think's going
weird.
to
Which
happen?
that
this
actually sounds
celebration?
more of a babyface response.
Yeah, it does. I don't know. I think that it's going to be very interesting. Do we see Jey Uso finally side with his brother tonight?
No,
No. But do you think that's eventually where we're going?
no,
Oh, you think Jay's going to be with Roman?
yes.
Wow. Okay. So where do you see this bloodline thing even going then?
I think Jay and Solo are staying with Roman. Jimmy's going to start to side with Sammy and Kevin, and I think that they're going to start to try to build Jimmy as a solo.
Interesting. Well, I'll disagree a little bit. I think that Jay is eventually gonna help his brother, and I think it'll be Jay and Jimmy versus Solo and Roman. And then I think at some point Solo's gonna leave too. And I think this is gonna be we're gonna have a bunch of matches, maybe Jay Uso versus Roman at SummerSlam.
So eventually it's just going to be Roman and Paul.
Yes, until Roman eventually loses the title and everything Paul walks out too.
And at that point, Roman's career is just over?
No, at that point he comes back as the monstrous babyface.
Yeah, but everybody's turning on him and they're turning face.
Take some time off. He'll figure it out.
Interesting. Do you think that they can make Solo over as a monster heel by himself?
He's kind of gotten over now. You have to program him with the right people. I think right now he's over as a heel with this group and Roman's protector. I think he becomes more over if he eventually turns on Roman. And
I like the way Solo actually reacts to things.
Mm-hmm.
I like the way he's actually does the little slow turns and looks at people. I like the fact that he doesn't just come out and say things. He does a really good job with his heel act.
Yeah, I can't disagree anymore. Hey, by the way, is my face frozen on here?
Yeah, your face is completely frozen.
Okay, it's been like that for a
I
while.
just assumed you had a stroke. It's fine.
Yeah, you hear me all right? Yeah, I know.
No, I hear you fine.
Yeah, that might be a prediction in the future, unfortunately.
I was just wondering how long you could hold that pose. I know you've been doing yoga. Speaking of yoga, not to drive it back towards the women's division, but there was a big thing this week. Ronda Rousey buried WWE Creative in the way that they've handled women's tag team wrestling and the lack of competition in the women's division.
I mean, she's not wrong. That's been the weak spot, is these women's tag division. Yeah.
But how unusual is it for somebody to just come out and say it, especially right after winning the tag titles?
Yeah. Well, kind of almost reminds me of what happened with Sasha and Bailey before. Not Naomi, but Sasha and Bailey when people thought that, they were upset about dropping the tag belts and they were winning the tag belts. Sometimes he's like, but we wanted to be involved in storyline. We want things to do. And, that's just, they don't know. I don't think they have the roster for that figured out yet.
And,
It's not.
and is Ronda Rousey the person that WWE wants upset with creative?
No, probably not. It's interesting though. Is like Ronda doesn't have as much, I think, backing from the fans anymore. At least, like the hardcore fans that seem to be done with Ronda. I feel like a lot of people feel like there's been a lack of improvement with Ronda.
Well, here's where I applaud Ronda. Ronda didn't come out and say, "Hey, I need competition. I need to be doing this. It needs to be about me." She came out and complained about the actual storylines, how things are being put together, and she complained about other people's opportunities and putting teams together. So I actually applaud Ronda Rousey right now because it seems like she genuinely cares about the division and is not putting herself first.
I agree. And now
So I know some of the hardcore fans don't like her, but I think for what she does, she comes out and she's a spectacle, and she doesn't expect to be the main event every night, which is kind of a good thing.
She's a fan at the end of the day. She still loves pro wrestling. So we'll see.
Speaking of hardcore women wrestlers, on Sunday night, we had an absolute embarrassment happen to NXT. In my opinion, I should probably say that. The idea of Tiffany Stratton going over Laura Valkyrie, is absolutely sickening. Laura Valkyrie is one of the best talents, pure wrestlers that there is in wrestling. And to see somebody who can barely lace her shoes and not trip in the ring. Now, don't get me wrong. Tiffany Stratton, when she does that flip or when she does the handspring, very athletic. But my God, she can't put a match together.
Speaking of NXT, we'll close out this. What do you think about the Baron Corbin showing up on NXT?
Baron Corbin's interesting. He needs something like that. You talk about somebody who just needs a refreshment to his career. It's Baron Corbin. The WWE and the main roster has done their best to bury this guy.
And then the other guy, Mustafa Ali.
Yeah, well, Mustafa Ali is amazing.
Yeah.
So the match that he just had this last weekend with Gunther was absolutely incredible. He made me believe at times that he might be going over.
Yeah, I think that for Mustafa Ali, this is a chance to maybe reinvent himself as a babyface instead of that positive Ali thing he was doing.
He could hold an NXT championship.
He's good.
Now that being said, they also just brought somebody back, and I was very happy to see it. Blair Davenport.
Yeah.
You talk about women wrestlers.
Any division.
The roster in NXT, if they use some of the talent they have that can actually wrestle, look at Gigi and JC. JC Jane, they absolutely killed it.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of talent in NXT. Roxanne Perez too.
The most talented ones. The funny thing is the one who's got the belt is the least talented of the actual group. I don't even like her character.
She's got the look. That's it. That's about.
Yeah, even her character is horrible. She doesn't even stay in character well.
Well, we'll see what people think eventually. They feel like they have something with Stratton. I gotta think it's the look, and they must think that she can eventually get there with her character, and she has a.
Yeah, she's gonna be another. She's gonna be another freaking Lacey Evans if they keep building her the way they are. And we've seen how well that's worked on the main roster.
Yes.
What they do is they keep getting these tall blondes that are athletic, and they keep going, we've got another Charlotte Flair. We've got another Charlotte Flair. They're not Charlotte Flair.
I'll tell you what. I'm going to wrap this up here because I'm not coming back, obviously, at least in physical form.
One last thing.
I got Dave, last thing, but go ahead. Get yours in.
Sorry. One last thing about NXT, just because I want to try to keep it on NXT for 1 second.
Yeah.
I think they missed the boat this weekend. Tyler Bate could have gone heel this weekend, and I think that he would have been an excellent heel for his style if he came out and started doing something similar to a lot of the European style where he stomps people and uses his power. I think Tyler Bate could have been a hell of a heel.
All right, I want one last prediction from you. We named the show CM Punk is back. So when CM Punk does come back, who's the first person he's feuding with?
I think he's going to be with FTR. I do. I think that they're either going to go after the House of Black, or it's going to be something to do with the group. Jesus, why am I going blank on them? The Mogul affiliates.
Okay. So you see him maybe trying to work with some younger people, maybe trying to get some other people.
I think that they're going to put him on separate shows.
Okay.
I think he's going to be on the Saturday show, and I think the Bucks are going to be on Dynamite.
Well, CM Punk may be over, but maybe not as over as Vinny Berry.
Well,
Read about the Northern Wrestling Federation in the book presented by Russellville.com, The Pro Wrestling Vault, Volume 2. Hear the story of Roger Ruffin, the man who trained Carl Anderson, the Monster Abyss, Jordan Clearwater, Chris Harris, and Jillian Hall.
Plus 45 other short stories including Jazz, Bobby Eaton, Kamala, Thunder Rosa, Mario Mancini, Scott Casey, PJ Black, Kerry Morton, Sal Renaro, Jeremiah Plunkett, Colby Carino, Bam Bam Malone, and many others.
Get your book today.